You know, it wasn't like something that I understood immediately, brothers. You know, because I was one of those people that thought, man, I got to do this and I got to do that. I'm going to have to do this way. I might have to do that way. I have to stop this. I might have to stop that. You know, all these things that I thought that I was going to have to do to become this individual. Yeah. And it can be overwhelming, man. It can be daunting, especially these things that you're not able to do. Yeah. And you know you're not able to do it. How do you know that? Because you've been trying and you have tried and you've not been able to do this thing. Sobriety, for example. Yeah. You know, one of the things we get in our heads that we got to be sober. You know? Yeah, alright. Yeah. And so that in the midst of this overwhelming feeling, brothers, you know what? We just go give up. Yeah, I don't know how many times I've done that. Over and over and over and over and over. Yeah, alright. No, brothers. There's nothing that you have to do. You already are. Breathe that sigh of relief, brothers. You already are Christ's servant. You were born this way. You were born into it. You were born into grace, yes. Just as you were born into sin, you were also born into grace. Grace is given to this world. Yeah, okay. There's nothing that you can do to earn this gift of grace except believe. Tell me, how hard is that? Are there not things around you each and every day that you believe? Easily? Yeah, alright. When I understood this way, brothers, when I understood that I was already Christ's servant and that I had been Christ's servant all my life. You know, it was like, it gave me some kind of, obviously it caused me to feel some regret for the things that I had done for humiliating my king, for being that kind of servant, yeah. But it also gave me the zeal and passion that I needed to do to overcome these things at the same time. And brothers, the only way that I found to overcome these things was to give them purpose. Your past serves no purpose except to shame us. We're going to learn something about that today. Yeah? Alright. But we can give it purpose if we should bear it by sharing it with others. Yeah? Yeah. That will give it purpose, brothers. Alright? And that's part of being a disciple. Let's look at this. Last week we went over this scripture. Mark 10, 17 through 21. I'm going to read it again. And when he was gone forth into the way, there came one running and kneeled to him, asked him, Good master, what shall I do that I may inherit eternal life? And Jesus said unto him, Why callest thou me good? There is none good but one, that is God. Thou knowest the commandments. Do not commit adultery, do not kill, do not steal, do not bear false witness, defraud not thy neighbor. Honor thy father and mother. And he answered and said unto him, Master, all these have I observed from my youth up. Then Jesus, beholding him, loved him, and said unto him, Yet one thing thou lackest. Go thy way, sell all that thou hast, and give to the poor, and thou shalt have treasure in heaven. And come, take up a cross, and follow me. You know, last week I told you guys that the cross was shame to him who knew no sin. Yeah? Christ was sin-free, he was sinless, he never committed any sin. And so that the cross was shame to him. Because the cross was something that criminals were killed with. You see what I'm saying? It was a criminal that hung on this thing. And everybody that seen Christ carrying this cross or walking with this cross knew that he was a criminal. You see what I'm saying? Even though he wasn't a criminal. And so that it was his shame. He did not bring shame upon himself. He committed not any behavior or action that brought this shame upon himself, but it was shame to him. Yes. Alright. Brothers, Jesus Christ has carried your shame. All your life. All your life. All the things that you have done. All the thefts, all the prostitutions, all the lies, all the hate. Jesus Christ has carried your shame all your life. It's time for you to carry your shame, brothers. It's time for you to pick up your own crosses. You understand? It's time for you to lighten Jesus' load. Yeah, man. It's got to happen, brothers. It's got to happen. You're going to have to take that cross and you're going to have to begin walking with it, man. Yeah. You're going to have to begin bearing it in front of other people. Now you guys get some practice with this up here in group, don't you? You're in group, you're having groups. You got to talk about some of the things that you've done, don't you? You Got to open up a little bit. Talk about this, talk about that. Yeah, okay, all right. You get practice in doing this, brothers. Notice how every week I stand up here, man, and I talk about some low-life thing that I have done. Yeah, I share some part of my secret, some skeleton that's in my closet openly. That is my cross, brothers. Yes, and it is because I share my cross in this manner. That's some of you listen. That's some of you pay attention. Why? Because you've done the same thing, or you're needing to overcome the same thing. Yes, brothers. Yes. You see a changed man before you. Alright, that's why, brothers. This is the reason why you must bear your cross in your discipleship. You understand? Brothers, listen. It's not enough to just call on the name of Christ. You must, but it's not enough. You can't stop there. It's not enough to just believe. You must, but it doesn't stop there. You understand? No, you must also do. It's not enough to just be a hearer of the word, brothers. But you must be a doer also. You understand? One who is just a hearer of the word and not a doer also is lacking works. And faith without works is dead, brothers. Just saying. I know you can't earn our way into heaven, yes, but we must do what we're told. Come and follow me. You know, following Jesus is not that easy. It's not enough to just imitate the works that he did. Feeding people, loving people, you know. I don't know about healing folks. I haven't ever laid hands on anybody and healed them of some terminal illness or blindness or anything like that, but I have given people hope. Yeah. I have healed pain in the hearts of other people before. With a kind word, with a hug, man. I have given people before that gave them hope when I gave to them that there was still people in this world that loved them. I'm just saying, buddy. There's many different ways that you can help them. Yeah. There's many different ways that you can heal people. In fact, there's more than one way to raise the dead, brothers. Yes. Believe that. It's not, hey, look, I haven't never raised up a dead person, but then I have. Raised this man up just a few weeks ago. Just saying, brothers, listen. We're all the walking dead. Every single one of us, all the walking dead until we are reborn in Christ. Then we shall be alive. Yes, brothers, this is truth, man. This is true. I know it, I get it, man. You know, you got all this emotion, you're running around, you got all this life, it seems good. I get it, I understand that. But until you are reborn in Christ, you are the walking dead. Because you shall not have life. Yes? Alright. Alright, brothers. I hope nobody's sitting here today that needs to. If you do, see me. I got time, brothers. That's what God sent me to do. Let's learn something hard here. Listen. Luke 14, 26 to 27. If any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children, and brothers and sisters, yea, his own life also, he cannot be my disciple. And whosoever doth not bear his cross and come after me cannot be my disciple. You know, in other Gospels, it says something similar to that. Not exactly the same wording, but I like the wording of Luke. I like the wording of Luke. You know, it took me a long time to understand what Christ was saying about hating my mom, my dad, my brother, my sister, my wife, my children, you know, because Jesus is not about hate. Jesus is all about love, peace, and agrees, man. You know, yeah. He's telling me I gotta love everybody. I can't hate nobody. Yeah, alright. Listen, guys. Jesus is not telling us to hate anybody. Yeah. Listen, man. Brothers, listen. This is important. This is going to happen to you. Those of you that decide that you want to walk with Christ, those of you that decide you want to serve Jesus Christ, those of you that decide that you want to live, this is going to happen to you. Definitely. If it hasn't already. Yeah? Alright. People are going to want you to stop. People are going to want you to stop talking about Jesus. People are going to want you to stop speaking the word in their presence. Brothers, yes. People are going to want you to do many things. You can't listen to them. Who's most important? When I decided to serve Jesus I was, would love Him with all that I had, there was people around me that told me these things. Yeah, Russell, you got to have balance. You can't talk about scriptures everywhere you go. You can't talk about Jesus all the time. People don't want to hear that. All right. Who do you love? Who saved your life? Who gave you sobriety? Who gave you strength? Who gave you joy? Who gave you peace? Who gave you hope? Who gave you happiness? Why would you not tell every single person you met? Maybe some of you haven't received that yet. I understand. One day you may, if you seek it. I pray you do, brothers. I pray you do. Even on my worst days, brothers, I am not without. If I can hold on to the hope that I described to you this morning in the welcome. It's all up to you, brothers. It's up to you. Yes? Alright? You must hold on to that hope. Jesus is telling us not to do anything anyone else says that contradicts what He's telling you. You understand? Yes. Not telling us to hate our families. He's not telling us to hate our church. Not hate in our heart that is the same as murder. Yes. Alright. No. But those people who are coming against you, that are coming against Him, yes, we turn our back on that. For His sake. For the sake of what He commands us, brothers. Always. It's always got to happen. He has always got to be number one. We can't love God with all of our hearts, with all of our minds, and with all of our souls, and give heed or give way to some other person. Was that Adam's sin? Think that where Adam messed up? God told him not to eat the fruit, and his wife said, eat, but did he listen to it? Which one of these two people do you think he loved the most? How can you judge that? Because he did his wife. Okay, brothers, you see? You see what's happening here. Brothers, this is a hard time that we're living in. Some of you might not understand it just yet or see it as strongly just yet, but this is a hard time that we're living in. Especially for Christians. And it's only going to get worse. Yeah? Surely God, you can look around yourselves in this country and see that the persecution against Jesus Christ is growing and growing, especially in this world. Alright? Alright, brothers. Jesus is going to have to be number one. For your very last breath. Yes. For your very last breath. Luke 9:23-26. And He said to them all, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself, and take up his cross daily and follow me. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it. But whosoever will lose his life for my sake, the same shall save it. For what is a man advantaged if he gain the whole world and lose his soul? For whosoever shall be ashamed of me and of my words, of him shall the Son of Man also be ashamed, when He shall come in His own glory and in His Father's and the angels. Daily. Take up your cross daily, brothers. It's not something that we do every now and then. I mean, I know we have this meeting here once a week, but my question is, do you think this is the only day that I bear my cross? Everywhere we go, brothers. Everywhere we go, that thing is strapped to our back. You understand? And it's not a burden. It's not. Tell me now. It's not a burden, brothers. Although it may seem like that, as you picture yourself carrying a cross that's got weight, and it seems like it's a burden, but it's not, brothers. Yeah. Once you begin to carry it, you'll see that. It is not a burden. In fact, it's joy. Alright. For whosoever shall save his life shall lose it. What do you think that means? Save his life. Please talk about your breath. Could be, I think. Yeah. Alright. We're talking about sacrificing your breath for Jesus. Alright. Yeah. But I'm thinking more along the lines of a life in this world. I don't know about you guys, but there were all kinds of people all around me always telling me, Russell, you need to get a life. You need to do this, you need to do that, you need to get a life. Yeah, alright. I don't know how many lives I laid down. I'm just saying, alright. Whoever shall save his life shall lose it. Brothers, the greatest love of all is what? Laying down your life for the brethren for Jesus Christ. The greatest love of all. Jesus Christ not only laid his breath down, yeah, we know he did, gave up his breath, but he also laid down his life too, didn't he? What was he? Was he a carpenter? Yeah? Did he have a home? Did he have a family? Did he have a mom that loved him? A dad that loved him? Brothers that loved him? Yeah. He gave that up, didn't he? To be a vagabond. A vagabond in the land. A homeless man, in fact, with nothing. That walked back and forth in this world, preaching and teaching the commandments of God. That was the life that he laid down, brothers. And so, for us to give up the life that we live, whether we're drug addicts, whatever it is, man, whatever it is that we're laying down is nothing. Nothing, brothers. Now this is the way that we shall find our lives. If we deny ourselves, brothers, if you're not denying yourself, you're serving yourself in this world, how is it that you lay your life down? It took me a while to understand it. Because I wanted to do the right thing. Jesus did. Yeah. I wanted to get a job, and I wanted to do this, and I wanted to do that. Yeah, I wanted to do all these good things. And it was me trying to choose my own life. You see how that works? This is the reason why we're told to seek the things of heaven and not the things of this world. You know that a couple weeks ago, didn't you? Yeah. To seek the things above, and the things below should be added unto you. For if you're trying to plan out what it is that you need in this world, if you're trying to build this life, how is it then that you are laying it down? Brothers, when you pick up the things of heaven, when you pick up the life that God is leading you to, when you pick up the life that God is giving you to, when you pick up the words of Christ to follow Him, God will give you the life. Because I never would imagine that He's taking it before He was dead. I never would imagine I wouldn't imagine 3/4 of what I've done in the last 7 years. For those of you that don't know, today marks 7 years sober for me. Same. I never would have imagined it. And I never wanted it. I never told myself, oh, you know what I want to do? I want to jump up down and have a fool for the class. Yeah. No, brothers. That never crossed my mind. No. But I'd live day down here in a tent, wanting to do what God wanted me to do. Yeah. Wishing to die because I didn't want to live without it no more. I didn't want to live without God. I didn't want to live without working for God. And whatever capacity that was, it didn't matter to me, brothers. My wife helped another man run a ministry for several years before she and I began this ministry. And you know what she did in that ministry? She swept up cigarette butts. That was what she did. Yeah. Look at it now. I'm just saying, brothers. It doesn't matter what you do. Remember last week I said God was not a respecter of sin or people. He's not a respecter of deed or person. One is the same as the other. We're either equally good or equally bad. And the same is true of what we do. Yeah. Yeah. The same is true of what we do, brothers. Listen. John 8:31-36. Then Jesus said to those Jews which believed on him, if ye continue in my word, then are ye my disciples indeed. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. They answered him and said, we be Abraham's seed, and we were never in bondage to any man. How sayest thou that you shall be made free? And Jesus answered and said unto them, verily, verily, I say unto you, whosoever committeth sin is the servant of sin. And the servant abideth not in the house forever, but the Son abideth forever. If the Son therefore shall make you free, ye shall be free indeed. If me continue in my word. You know, like I said earlier, I thought there were things that I had to do. There was a certain way that I had to be Christ's servant. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that if I couldn't do these things, then I couldn't be His servant, or I wasn't His servant, especially when I couldn't pull that needle out of my arm. Do you understand? Yes. No, brothers. No. To whom you present yourself members to obey. The word must abide in you in order for this to happen. Listen. The word abide in you, within you. Firstly, Jesus Christ is called the Word. Here was the Word come down from heaven, made flesh and dwell among men. Yes. How is it that we get Jesus to dwell in us? According to Him. By loving Him. John chapter 14. Yes. Alright. Do you have love in your heart? Do you want to love? That's the start right there. This is the start, brothers. The next thing you do is you read the Word, that it might dwell within you. In you, brothers. In your mind, firstly. And then in your heart. Listen, brothers. I know, I bet every one of you is going to tell me, well, I don't really understand that, or I can't read, I've heard all kinds of excuses, brothers. Yes, listen. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of all understanding. When you are truly afraid of the punishment that God is promising to us, you will begin to understand. I promise you, brothers. I started reading this book when I was 21. How much of it do you think I understood? Didn't go to church, never heard of King James Version, none of those things. But that was the book that I began with. Here I am today. Alright. Fear of the Lord, brothers. Fear of the Lord is the beginning of understanding. And if you read the book because you're afraid of what He's going to do to you, because you want to understand how to escape this punishment, you will begin to understand. The Word will dwell in you. Remember, the first step of repentance is changing the way you think. Changing the way you think. Yes? What God says is right, and what God says is wrong. How are you going to know what God says is right and wrong? You don't listen to that guy on television? You're going to listen to that guy drawing $250,000 salary to talk to you? Or are you going to know God? I'm saying, brothers, hey, look, listen. I went to Yale. I wouldn't take a receiver from nobody else, brothers. Nobody else. No one else. Jacob wrestled with God. And he would not give up until God gave him a blessing. Brothers, don't give up. That's the thing. I mean, think about it. All the things that you want to do, all the things that you set out to do, what has stopped you? You stopped you. You gave up. Alright, brothers. Gotta read the Word. In order for the Word to abide in you, brothers. Yes. And when the Word abides in you, you know it, you think on it, you feel it, it's going to happen. The truth shall make you free. Think of the things that you need free from. Right now you're thinking you need free from your addiction. And true enough you do, but there were some things that you need free from before this, isn't it? There are some things that you need to be free from before this, brothers. And it explains to you over and over. Salvation first. Salvation first. Firstly, you need to be free from sin. How are you going to be free from sin if you're still living in it? Yes. Romans chapter 6 says, whom you present yourselves members to obey, that is whose servant you are. Whether you present yourselves members to righteousness, obey God, or members of sin to obey sin. I know, brothers, look, listen, man. Some of these things you're not going to have no power over. I do. But some of these things you are. Repeating with the words that come out of your mouth. This is the first thing that you have power over, brothers. Where does the words that come out of your mouth come from? get a grip on the words that come out of their mouth. It's just that simple. Alright? And then what's going to come out of your mouth? The Word. Because it exists within you. It's going to be up to you, boys. It begins with hearing it. And that's what you're doing here today. That's what some of you and me have been doing for the last 7 weeks now. Hearing the Word. Receiving this faith. Yeah. It's time to make it grow. It's time to let it grow, brothers. I have Bibles up here every week, man. Every week. There's never any reason not to get one. I've got a box full in the truck. I generally always have a box full in the truck. Hardly ever will you find me without a Bible to give you. Just saying. How interested are you? How free do you want to be? You know, I only wanted to be partly free to start with. Yeah. Because I was going to accept some of the things that Jesus said. Yeah. Because there were some promises that I did want to receive. But I wasn't going to accept everything that Jesus said. Because there were some things that I couldn't get a hold of. Or some things that I wanted to keep doing my way. Yeah. Or some things I didn't want to have to swallow my shame. All kinds of reasons, brothers. Yeah. But it's got to be everything. It's going to have to be everything. Everything. The whole truth. The whole truth, brothers. You're going to have to surrender your whole heart to receive that whole truth. Your whole heart. You know, lots of people don't get the truth, brothers. They don't. Jesus said that the Pharisees were blind. God blinded them to the truth. He blinded them through their hearts and their eyes and their ears. Yeah. Alright. Brothers, not everybody gets the truth. You should rejoice. Listen. I am the true vine, and my Father is the husband. Every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away, and every branch that beareth fruit, he picketh, that it may bring forth more fruit. Now you are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you. Abide in me, and I in you. As a branch cannot bear fruit by itself, except it abide in the vine. No more can you, except you abide in me. I am the vine. You are the branches. He that abide in me, and I in you, the same bringeth forth much fruit. For ye can do nothing without me. If a man abide not in me, he is cast forth as a branch and is withered, and men gather them and cast them into the fire, and they are burned. If ye abide in me, and my words abide in you, ye shall ask what ye will, and it shall be done unto you. Herein is my Father glorified, that ye bear much fruit, so shall ye be my disciples. As the Father hath loved me, so have I loved you. Continue ye in my love. If ye keep my commandments, ye shall abide in my love, even as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in his love. These things have I spoken unto you, that my joy might remain in you, and that your joy might be full. This is my commandment, that ye love one another as I have loved you. Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. Ye are my friends, if ye do whatsoever I command you. Henceforth I call you not servants, for the servant knoweth not what his Lord doeth, but I have called you friends. For all things that I have heard of my Father, I have made known unto you. Ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you, and anointed you, that you should go forth and bring forth much fruit, and that your fruit shall remain. And whatsoever ye shall ask of the Father in my name, he may give it to you. I appreciate that as a love letter, brothers. I just can't think of nothing more intimate than that. This thing that Christ is saying to us. I really can't. I told you that we were all already servants, right? We were born in Christ's land. This is his kingdom, and we are all his servants. Some people think, oh no, you're not a servant of Christ unless you believe. Let's go to church. Let's do these other things. Let's be Father, trust Him. What did Christ say? I am the vine, and ye are cast forth as a branch. Even if you don't abide in Him, ye are still cast forth as a branch. It just so happens that because you abide not in Him, you wither and die, and you are gathered up and cast into the fire. Okay, brothers, but you're still cast forth as a branch. Alright, brothers, you're still a member of Christ's body. Whether you believe or not, whether you love or not, you're still a member of His body. You're still a servant in His kingdom. But Christ is not looking for servants, brothers. What did He call you? What did He call you? He called you His friend. He said, I call you not servants, but I call you friend. The servant knoweth not what his master doeth. But I have told you, and ye are my friends if you do whatsoever unto me. I know, brothers. You know what I couldn't let go of? I couldn't let go of what I was going to have to give up. I couldn't let go of these pleasures of the flesh. I couldn't let go of this pride. I couldn't let go of this shame. Man, people are going to laugh at me. People are going to talk about me. People aren't going to be my friends. People will never accept me. Church people are hypocrites. Brothers, I made so many excuses for myself. Yeah. First friend you were me. I want to be that guy's friend. He's the one that died for me. You know, I lived out in the streets too. Played that old gangster stuff. I sold dope. I packed a pistol. I did a lot of things, brothers. You know, I had that ride or die mentality. Yeah. Anybody ever found somebody like that? Really would do that? Anybody ever found somebody that really would die for you? Now, right in your car too is dead. I did. Until I met Jesus Christ. Yeah. Because He's not begging to ride with you. He died to prove to you that He could ride with you. You understand? Yeah. You know, that was one of the thoughts of 2002 man that brought me to call on Jesus Christ. It was. It was the first time I called on Christ in jail cell in 2002 after committing a robbery, being locked up. And I knew that I needed it. I wanted to be His friend. I told you I've been reading that book since I was 21. Yeah. I started going to jail when I was 18. And it seemed like every time I ended up in jail, there was always a Bible. And I always picked it up. And I always went back to reading it. Yeah. And every time I get out, I say, you know, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this. But you know what stopped me? The things that I said I wasn't going to do. Well, you know, I'm going to do this, but I'm not going to do that. I don't believe that. I don't want to do that. That's going to mean, no, I won't be able to sleep around no more. Slave those. You see how the struggle is? Brothers, the struggle is the acceptance of His word. The acceptance of His truth. Once you accept the truth, then you're free. That's where the freedom comes from. Right here. In the chest. That's where this freedom exists. This joy, this peace, this purpose, this love. We gotta be Christ's disciples, brothers. Listen, it's not enough just to go to church and sit on the pews. It's not enough to just clap your hands, man. It's not enough to just sing along, yeah. It's not enough to just give money or pay tithes and that kind of stuff, though those things are all necessary. They're all good. I'm not saying they're not, but it's not enough. You must be His disciple. There are some things Christ is telling us to do besides that. That's something we do for ourselves. Do you understand? Going and congregating is something that we do for ourselves. This fellowship learning to draw with one another through the Holy Spirit. Of course, we worship. That's good. All right. But what are you doing for your neighbor? What are you doing for the kingdom? How are you being a disciple sitting on that bench? Same place. There's a lot of people out there that don't understand this. Yeah, there really is. Because next week, I'm going to show you this. These things that Christ is telling us, why He's telling us these things. You know, I've already told you that this is His world. He is the King of Kings, yes, and we are His servants. Yeah, alright. We need to learn how to live in this kingdom. Jesus Christ said, all men shall know that you are my disciples by the love that you have for one another. Now, I struggle with that because I'm thinking, well, He's only talking about other Christians. Yeah? Or other people that go to my church. Yeah? Think about that. And yet, today you understand that we're all His servants. That we're all in His body. Yes, brothers. Not just the love that you have for those people who love you. What reward is there in only loving those who love you? This is what Christ asks us. There's no reward in that. The reward is in loving those who do not love you. The reward is in loving those who have no love for you. The reward is suffering for righteousness' sake. Therein lay the reward, brothers. Yes. Right. This is things that we need to get to do. How many of y'all know what faith is? Brothers, we need to understand what faith is. You don't know what love is. I can already see that. I didn't know what love was either, brothers. I thought I did. I had my idea. Yeah. But it didn't work out too good. How many of your relationships are suffering right now? I'm just saying. How's that love working out for you? Alright. Brothers, I'm going to be poor this week. But we may cover faith next week. I don't know. We'll see what the Lord says. The Lord gave me this message today. It's the first one He's gave me like that in a while, actually. We have a program, basically, after 5 years of this life. We've come to understand there are certain messages for salvation's sake that needs to be heard. Yeah. Faith and love are some of them. Yeah. Alright. Until you understand what faith is, until you understand what love is, how is it that we're going to be able to practice that? Alright, boys. Alright. How many of y'all are reading about it? Alright. Brothers, I should lift people up. I really do. I know this is not your first experience with church, or church people, Jesus Christ. Yeah, let's just say Jesus Christ. Because I'm not church people. I am the church. Yeah, okay. We are the church. Alright. You are the church, brothers. How good of a wife are you going to be to Jesus Christ? That's upon you. Or what you understand about faith, and what you understand about love, and how you apply that in your life, regardless of what anyone else says. Yeah, alright. Brothers, you guys want prayer? You guys need anything, man. Just want to talk about it. You guys need to be baptized. Whatever it is, man. You know, there's one thing to be said about small groups. We've been here as many as 100, and we've been here as few as 5. Yeah, alright. One thing to be said about small groups is there's more time for individuals. Yeah. Don't be afraid to ask us to that time. Love you all. It's time to get in the sacrifice. It's time. It's time. Lord, we give thanks for this rain that is on its way, Father. And we know that the rain is a blessing for obedience. Father, and everything needs rain to grow. So many places in this world right now that are going through a drought, experiencing droughts, Father, really are blessing us with rain. Father, I pray that you pour your Spirit out upon these men just as you're fixing to pour the rain out upon this earth, Lord. And that you bless them, and that the seed of faith that has been planted into them this day, Father, this knowledge that they must love, Father, this knowledge that they must read your word, Lord, this knowledge that they must put it into application and accept this truth that they might be free, Father, would grow in them. And not just grow, Father, that it would grow exponentially, Lord, that it would bear much fruit for the goodness of this kingdom that you are leading us into, Father, that you are building through us, Lord. Father, we thank for this kingdom that you have given to us in Jesus Christ. For there is no other like him, Father. No more just, no more fair man that you have set before us, Father. And we rejoice. In Jesus'